Welcome to the Central Texas Huddle on Lone Star Gridiron. I'm your host, Tony Blaylock. I'll be back with the action from Central Texas High School football right after these messages.
With open enrollment coming soon for Medicare, ACA, Obamacare, and small group plans for businesses with less than 100 employees, if you're in need of health insurance solutions, look no further than HAP Insurance Agency. Yes, HAP Insurance Agency is a fantastic resource right in the heart of College Station, Texas. Whether you're in retirement, a business owner, or simply looking for the best health coverage option, HAP Insurance Agency has got you covered. You can find them in College Station at 1551 Greens Prairie Road West, Suite 101A, or give Holly Pritchard a call at 972-897-0814. That's HAP Insurance Agency.
Looking to boost your company's marketing? Look no further than Fresh Media Works. Podcasting is the best way to promote your brand and increase your customer base. You can create your own show, be a guest on other podcasts, or advertise on existing podcasts to reach a valuable audience. Don't wait. Start elevating your marketing game today with Fresh Media Works. Call now, 713-269-4620, or find us online at freshmediaworks.com/podcasting.
I want to thank HAP Insurance for College Station, Fresh Media Works, and 90's Tweeterside for their sponsorship of the Central Texas Huddle. Now let's get right to some featured games from Week 4 in Central Texas. We're going to start off with Pflugerville-Weiss versus New Braunfels. New Braunfels had a furious fourth quarter rally. They scored with very little time left on the clock to cut the Weiss lead to 52-50. They went for a 2-point attempt to tie the game, and that failed. And the Weiss Wolves walk away with a 52-50 win over New Braunfels. The Wolves, Jax Brown was 26 of 35 for 365 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jacques Bradley Demuts had 10 receptions, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. Braden Dion Woolley had 5 carries, 73 yards, and 1 touchdown. For the Unicorns, Tyree Johnson had 32 carries, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Leighton Adams was 21 of 36 passing for 339 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lance Begley had 9 receptions, 140 yards, and 1 touchdown. Next game we're going to look at is Round Rock versus Round Rock Westwood. Round Rock takes a 39-yard field goal by senior Kai Haruki with 5 seconds left in the game to win 24-21. For Round Rock, Mason Cochran was 7 of 15 passing for 92 yards, had 19 carries for 136 yards and 1 touchdown. Andrew Moyer had 2 receptions for 44 yards, and Reggie Hurley had 14 carries for 52 yards and 1 touchdown. For Westwood, Damani Stewart had 35 carries for 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. Owen Norrell was 11 of 20 passing for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. Brian Perkins had 5 receptions for 53 yards and 1 touchdown. And the next game we're looking at is Cedar Park Vista Ridge versus Round Rock Cedar Ridge. The Vista Ridge wins this game 28-7. And our Steve Thomas caught up with Vista Ridge head coach Chad Scott following the Rangers' victory.
Coach Scott, congratulations on the win tonight. Your defense so far this year has been dominant. What do you think has been the key for that?
I mean, the kids have bought into what we asked them to buy into. Our defensive staff, Coach Thompson, our whole staff, he's our defensive coordinator, has prepared these kids. So it feels like we've partly already played the game before we even get out here on Friday night. So they're doing a great job, and I want to continue that.
What do you think were some of the keys for your defense tonight? They gave that one big play, but other than that, they pretty much shut them down.
Yeah, I guess it's just that swarm mentality. We've bought into it, so we got 11 guys flying around making plays. So
on your offensively, great night for your ground game. But what can you say about their performance?
Our offense?
Yeah.
Our offense did what we needed to do, man. They are pounding the rock. The offensive line is holding their own. JD had a great night. I thought Josan did too, running the ball. And then when we had our shots off play action, we took them. So.
A couple of times you got the ball in kind of favorable territory, but weren't able to do anything with. Anything you're looking to clean up from that this week?
Yeah, we'll have to take a good look at the tape and see what we can look at to fix, tweak, whatever. But I like their resiliency. They find a way, don't they?
and what would you say is probably your team's greatest strength so far this year?
Senior leadership.
Okay.
Senior leadership. We've got a bunch of guys that care for each other. They're brothers, and they'll do anything. They'll run through a wall for each other.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Vista Ridge is now 1-0 in District 25 6A play. They are off this week. We're taking on Round Rock McNeil the next week. Next game we're going to talk about is Belton versus San Angelo Central. Belton Broncos had a 34-17 lead late in the third quarter and held off a San Angelo Central rally for a 41-38 win. For the Broncos, the stars were Sean Snap with 22 carries, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Reese Rumfeld with 13 carries, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. He was also 6 of 12 passing for 86 yards and another touchdown. Move on to an exciting game, Bastrop versus Pflugerville. Bastrop wins this 48-42 in overtime. Bastrop was down 28-42 with 6 minutes left in the game. They rallied to force that overtime and walked away with the win. For Bastrop, freshman Weston Nielsen making his first varsity start with 16 of 28 passing for 383 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sophomore Brandon Mills had 23 carries for 128 yards and 4 touchdowns. And junior Jalen Gratton had 8 receptions, 251 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You can see a ton of underclassmen field positions for the Bastrop Bears. Keep an eye on this team as we move later into the season as these kids get more experience. And for Pflugerville, Cole Thomas was 16 of 24, 229 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jason Evans had 5 receptions, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. And Ryder Miller had 20 carries, 88 yards, and 1 touchdown.
You have a party coming up or just want a special gift? Check out Nani's Sweeter Side. Yes, Nani's Sweeter Side makes the most amazing custom-created sugar cookies with your design. They also offer paint your own cookies and decorate your own cookies. Those make an excellent sweet activity that you can sink your teeth into at parties. Nani's also offers some of the most amazing cupcakes ever. You can check out Nani's Sweeter Side at nanisweeterside.com. That's N-A-N-I. Check her out on Facebook. Just look for Nani's Sweeter Side. Or give her a call at 937-499-4790. At Nani's Sweeter Side, you'll find that happiness is homemade.
Hey, did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.
Our next game is Bandera versus San Antonio Cole. Bandera breaks a 28-28 tie with about 3 minutes left in the game and walks away with the 35-28 win. For Bandera, Jose Guerrera had 18 carries for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jesse Cardenas had 20 carries for 172 yards, 1 touchdown. Was also 8 of 9 passing for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Corbin Gonzalez had 5 receptions for 56 yards and 1 touchdown. For the Cole Cougars, Jackson Freds was 9 of 17 passing for 158 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 22 carries for 111 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And Taiwo Attenross had 5 receptions for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Now we're going to move on to Yoakum and Calhoun. Calhoun scored with 7:32 left in the game to cut Yoakum's lead to 20-19. They decided to go for a 2-point try here to take the lead. The try failed, and that was the end of the scoring. And Yoakum holds on for the 20-19 win. For Yoakum, Zach Taylor was 13 of 18 passing for 195 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 33 yards rushing and 1 rushing touchdown. Zion Williams had 8 carries for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. And Xavier Barnett had 6 carries, 85 yards, and 1 touchdown. For Calhoun, Derek Salinas had 5 carries for 92 yards. Jace Campos had 16 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. And Alex Parker was 4 of 8 passing for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Next game, Lexington versus Tomball Christian. Lexington led 26-10 at half. Tomball Christian scored with about 6 minutes left in the game to cut Lexington's lead to 32-30. They went for 2 to tie the game. They failed, and Lexington held on for a 32-30 win. For Lexington, John Williams had 16 carries, 199 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Case Evans was 16 of 27 for 226 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 17 yards rushing. And Noah Wright Harris had 5 receptions for 46 yards. For Tomball Christian, Andrew Harrison was 16 of 29 for 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also added 17 rushing yards. Caleb Harrell had 10 carries for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. And Daniel Abraham had 4 receptions for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. In our last featured game, we're going to look at Flatonia versus Falls City. Falls City led this 14-0. Flatonia came back to take the lead 28-21 late in the third quarter, extended their lead to 35-21 early in the fourth quarter, and they were able to hang on for that 35-28 win. For Flatonia, Kobe Burton had 13 carries for 111 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kel Janeka was 8 of 16 passing for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keegan Green had 4 receptions, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Salt City, Braylon Johnson was 4 of 7 passing for 94 yards and 1 touchdown, and he had 15 carries for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns rushing. Christian Moy had 9 carries for 60 yards. Now, as we move on to week 5, let's go through the rankings and the schedule for the ranked team. Reminder, all these rankings are the Lone Star Gridiron rankings. You can visit LoneStarGridiron.com and see our statewide rankings for the top 30 in 6A and the top 15 in each division in 5A, 4A, 3A, and 2A. And after week 4's games, here are the Central Texas ranked teams. Coming in at number 4 is Westlake. And the big game this week, they will be at our number 9 ranked Lake Travis. This is the game of the year always in the Austin area, so be sure to tune in and for details on how that game played out. Number 7 comes in Vandergrift. And at number 27, Dripping Springs, and they will be playing Austin Bowie. In the 5A D1 rankings, number 6, Smithland Valley will be taking on New Braunfels Canyon. Number 7, College Station will be at Leander. Number 14, San Antonio Wagner will be hosting Lehman. 5A D2, our only ranked team is number 13, Alamo Heights, and they will be at San Antonio Burbank. 4A D1, tied at second, China Springs, and they will be hosting Dallas Parish Episcopal. And the team they're tied with for second is Bernie, who will be at Salado. Number 9, Stephenville will be at Wichita Falls Rider. And number 12, Somerset is open this week. Number 3, Wimberley will be hosting Lampasas. Cuero is tied for 4th, and they will be at Beeville Jones. Waco Connolly is tied for 9th, and they will be at Brownwood. And number 15, Madisonville will be at Livingston. In 3A-D1, the Central Texas ranked teams are number 1, Franklin, who will be at McGregor. Number 3, Columbus will be hosting Huffman-Hargrave. Number 12, Lorena will be at Cameron Yo. Number 14, Jourdanton will be at San Antonio Kennedy. And Yoakum is tied for 15th, and they will be at Gonzales. In 3A-D2, the ranked teams are number 6, Poth, who will be hosting Dilley. Number 12, Comanche will be hosting Albany. Number 13, Jacksboro will be at Henrietta. And in 2A-D1, number 6, Centerville will be playing Jefferson, and this game will be held in Rust. Number 11, Mason will be at Ballinger. Number 12, Holland will be hosting Weimar. Number 13, Three Rivers will be at Skidmore Tinian. And number 14, Crawford will be open this week. In 2A-D2, number 1, Mart will be hosting Meridian. Number 4, Chilton will be playing Deweyville. The game we played at Trinity. Number 10, Granger will be hosting Bruni, and that game will be played in Kennedy. And tied for 11th is Bremond, and they will be open this week. And that is the Central Texas Huddle for this week. I want to thank Hap Insurance of College Station, Fresh Media Works, and Nani's Sweeter Side for the sponsorship of the Central Texas Huddle. Tune in next week. We'll go over the Westlake Lake Travis game and other key games from the week, and look at the rankings and the schedule for the following week. See you next week.